All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is them on the moon. Here we go. Okay. Happy Sunday, baby. It's a doozy this week. So I think I might have mentioned last week that I saw this documentary, a trailer for a documentary on YouTube. It's a new Vietnam War docu-series that just released on Netflix because it's the 50th anniversary of the fall of Saigon, and it was reunification day, so they released this documentary because I went to the gym and it was like a Wednesday and it was closed, and they had the big like flag painted on the thing on the garage door, and I was like, what the heck? So I looked it up and it's reunification day, so there's flags everywhere, and I was like, huh. And then I was like, man, I know some things about the Vietnam War but not a lot, so I was like, I should probably watch this documentary and just like learn what happened and everything since I'm here, right? I'm like, here I am in freaking Vietnam. Never thought I would be here. And so I figured I kind of just might as well watch it and see what's up. So I did. And I don't mean to be like hyperbolic, but like it like shifted my worldview in a big way. Like it seriously impacted me. And it was mind blowing on so many fronts. It's crazy. Just it's just crazy. Even like I've been having trouble sleeping the past few nights because I'm just like laying in bed, just like trying to process everything. And there's so much to it. I think I'm gonna do a blog post and maybe a YouTube video to just break down like all the things that were so striking to me and interesting. But the first thing is like a lot of the things in the documentary I kind of knew or had heard of or like passively knew about, right? But and then I'm asking myself, I'm like, why did this freaking information in this documentary just bam, just roast me like mentally? And I think there's something about the documentary was like really well done, and I think it was pretty balanced. I'm not sure the different opinions and stuff. Like I don't know, I haven't really talked to that many people about it, so I'm not sure. But I think it's pretty balanced and accurate. But I think seeing from the beginning of the conflict and the Civil War and the divisions between North and South Vietnam and everything that was going on and like the coups in South Vietnam, all the way walking it through to the end of the war and what happened after the war. Seeing all that in linear order, in context, and like the interviews, like they interview people, like they interview one of the direct advisors to the who was the president of South Vietnam during a lot of the conflict. I think it was Win Van Tu or something like that. But so that guy was like directly dealing with the president in this conflict, right? And they're just interviewing him like he's still alive, and they're interviewing generals on not necessarily both sides, but soldiers, North Vietnam generals and military people, Viet Cong fighters, American soldiers, journalists that were there, just so many people that were freaking there, dude. And they tell their stories and their opinions and show the photographs. Like there was this photographer that was there that was in the My Lai massacre and has just showing photos of it that he took and telling his experience. And like there's women Viet Cong soldiers that are talking about what it was like for them and how it felt to kill American soldiers, like on the documentary. And it's just, it was just fucking mind boggling, like this situation. And like on one hand, there's the war aspect of it, like how crazy the actual fighting and conflict and carnage and dehumanization that was happening, and all that stuff is crazy, and all the bombs that were dropped. Like this is one of the things I put in my blog, is that there's a couple crazy things that really stuck out to me that I just mentioned real quick in this update. One of which was in Vietnam, the US and our allies dropped 3 times as many bombs on Vietnam and Cambodia and Laos than the Americans dropped in World War II and Korea combined. So take World War II American bombs, Korean War American bombs times 3, and that's what we dropped on Vietnam. at the Vietnam War. So it's like, it's 7.5 million tons. And so that's crazy, right? Just the actual war aspect of it, which I think that the documentary didn't focus so much on the war tactics. It was more the stories of people and the political situation in the U.S. with the president and the, the generals and stuff like that. But man, and just seeing the pictures and stuff, like I'd seen some videos and stuff, but like the photographer in Mila, it's like, dude, it's just pictures of like literally dead and mangled kids like piled. And like the American soldiers in the My Lai massacre like went into a village and just murdered all civilians, 400 civilians. There was literally no combat, no Viet Cong. And they were just fed up with the war and they just went psycho and fucking murdered everyone. And there's just pictures, bro, of just innocent people with their brains blown out, and just like, it's just the psychological like brutality of both sides of the shit they would do is just like the photographer. He says he sees this little kid walking, looking for his mom in the village, right? Or like looking around like lost, right? Little kid. He's going to take a picture of him. One of the American soldiers by him just blasts him. And the photographer said, he looked at the soldier. He's like, why? And he said the soldier just didn't say anything and just walked away. And there's just so many crazy stories like that. And these soldiers talking about what they did, right? And it was just so striking. And then it's like you combine that with the politics, right? What was happening in America with the government, and how like the other thing I put that like just stuck out to me is like, which is the name of the vlog or the blog post in the video, is like just the dishonesty and deceit. Like the president and the general, I forget his name. He has a weird name. But anyways, the general and like McNamara and like these Henry Kissinger and these people that were involved in it. Man, what is that general's name? Oh, I always forget it. It's such an interesting name. Anyways, can't remember it. I'm gonna die. I gotta figure it out real quick. It's gonna come to me right as I do this. Vietnam general name. Oh, Vietnam. Fuck. Vietnam War U.S. general name. Man, I hate that I can't think of it. I've been trying to remember it because for some reason it won't stick in my head. So I've been trying to remember it and I can't. Westmoreland. Fuck. Okay. Anyways, this General Westmoreland, and them just lying to like the American people, to Congress, to stay in the war and to get more troops, and being like, it's great, we're winning battles, and like and then you listen to the soldiers being like, what are you talking about, dude? And it's so much. It's like this thing where it's like, if people would just be truthful, we would have, I think it was like 3.8 million deaths, right? And in the war. And it's just like, it was just drug on for so long because people wouldn't tell the truth for whatever reason. It's like psychotic, the amount of like lying and twisting and delusion. It doesn't make any sense. It's just so crazy. Like with Nixon, apparently he knew they had the Pentagon Papers, right? Which basically said, and this was at maybe not the beginning, but earlier in the war, they said, there's no way we're going to win this. It's over. Like it's cooked. It's done. There's no chance it's going to work. And the president and everyone knew that shit the whole time. And they're saying, no, we can win. And there's light at the end of the tunnel and all this to drag it on. And just drug it on. And like with Nixon, he knew they needed to get out of there. And he wanted to get reelected, so he just was pushing it because he knew it would be a disaster if they pulled out, and then he wouldn't get reelected. So just so he could get another term, they're just sending these kids into the fire, dude. And these, it's like 17-year-old, 16-year-old, or not 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old kids just going and just dying, and just, it's fucking crazy. It just is so crazy. And man. The other thing too is like, you think these days college campuses are crazy with the protests and all this shit that's going on. Well, dude, there was so much protesting of the war, in the U.S. during the Vietnam War, and there was a college campus where the police opened fire on the protesters and killed 4 people and shot and wounded 9. Right, killed them, And I'm like, holy shit. Like that's in US history of them doing that. And I'm like, that's like, we think it's so crazy today, where I'm like, dude, that shit is crazy. But man, so heavy, dude. So crazy. If you don't know that much about Vietnam, I would recommend watching it. It's on Netflix. It's called Turning Point: The Vietnam War, and it's just, and the other thing, dude, okay, so surreal. I'm watching this thing where near the end of the war, and the other thing about lying, okay, right, is that at the end of the war, it was like this deal where we made a deal with the North, and we're like, okay, the two conditions are the U.S. has to leave. We'll do ceasefire, stop the war, peace, right? Ceasefire. The U.S. has to leave, and the North Vietnamese troops and bases and stuff in South Vietnam can stay. And that was the deal. And the U.S. said, okay, but if you break the truce or the ceasefire, we're going to roast you bad. Well, U.S. pulls out of there, and it's a freaking insane disaster. Like it's like, and this is a whole other thing. Okay, so it's an insane disaster when we pull out. But then right once the U.S. is out of there, North Vietnam just fuck you, goes down and just takes over the whole shit, takes over Saigon, takes over the whole country. And just was like, fuck it. And the U.S. didn't do anything, and whatever. And it's just crazy. But here's the other thing, is that the other thing that was so striking to me is the repeat of the history with Afghanistan and Iraq. And it's like the same shit. It's like the same exact thing where it's like the soldiers are going into this place and they're fucking everyone up. And then it's making the people that live there hate them and fight against them because they're destroying their houses and their families and stuff. And it's like the thing in Ukraine. It's like this weird thing where Russia wants to like get Ukraine's land and like liberate Ukraine. It's like this thing like we got to liberate them or like denazify it or like liberate the people, which is the same thing the North were saying, you know. But people are getting the fuck out of the North, right? That no one wants to be there. Not no one, but it's like people were getting out of there because of communism, and because they're just killing people too at the beginning, and so everyone's like trying to get the hell out of there. And they're like, we're liberating our brothers in the South and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like this same pretense for going to war and like this same weird pattern of shit, which makes me conspiratorial about it because I'm like, there's just this, there has to be like things under the surface moving this because it's so psychotic and just dumb. It's like, how are we doing it again, right? It's just crazy. It's so crazy. It just freaking blows my mind, dude. It's just, I could go on and on, dude. It's freaking crazy. But anyways, okay, the thing I was going to say, so the North, so when at the end, once the U.S. pulls out, right, the North just starts rolling down into Vietnam and taking over everything. Well, there's a city called Hue above Da Nang where I'm at. And it was like a strategic point, right? Well, the Vietnamese retake that, and then everyone's fleeing to Da Nang, right? And there's all this footage in Da Nang of all these like Vietnamese people like rushing the beaches and like trying to get, you know, out of Hue to get away from the North. And it's just surreal, like being here. I'm like sitting in the apartment in Da Nang, like watching footage from the war, like in Da Nang. And I'm just like, oh, it's just crazy, dude. Oh, it's so crazy. And there's this really cool thing where there's a dude interviewed in the documentary from the US, and he was just a normal soldier, but he was at the battle for Hue because during the war, right, there was the North Vietnamese were trying to take over Hue, and America in the South was fighting, right? But America got it. Anyways, long after the war, this soldier goes home and he becomes the mayor of his city, Macon, Georgia. And once he's old, he goes back to Hue to meet the mayor there. Well, the mayor there also fought in Hue against him. So they were fighting each other in the Vietnam War in this city. And now he's the mayor of this city that they were fighting over, and then he's this mayor back in the U.S., and they're sitting together in the office. And it's insane. And he's like, the mayor was really nice. He's like, take care of him, whatever he needs, get him a car, get him around, whatever. And it was like peace. And it's like also amazing. It's like on the same hand of it's like, it's crazy the humans' ability to dehumanize other people. It's like them killing the babies and stuff, right? It's like, it's amazing how humans can do that, right? And just become like, turn it off. Like any type of this person, we're going to just do the most horrible things to them, right? But on the other hand, the humans' capacity to like forget and like go back to normal, right? It's like Vietnam now, it's like full of Americans and everyone's getting along and everything's fine. And it's like, crazy to think if I was born back then, I would be over here killing people. Right now, I'm over here just vibing and everything's fine. And it's just crazy. The world is crazy. But yeah, just all that stuff just completely rocked my worldview in such a big way. Oh God, it's so crazy. Whew. Anyways, I think that's enough for now on the Vietnam War. God. But yeah, maybe I can sleep better now that I get all that off my chest. Um, anyways, okay, we'll get into some other updates here. Hold on. Okay. I did a new video. I finally did this video about the ethics of elephant riding. I had so many thoughts when I was in Bali about going to the elephant park and the ethics, and there's so many like people against it and like bad reviews if it's unethical and you should never ride elephants and they shouldn't be in the park, et cetera, et cetera. And I've had so many thoughts, and so I finally just sat down and made a video about it. If you're curious or you're thinking about visiting a park or Bali or whatever, that's my new YouTube video. Okay, what I'm wondering about. Here we go. What is the biggest archipelago in the world? I thought it was Indonesia, which I was right. And let's open it. Boop. Oh, what's happening? Boop. So apparently it's called the Malay archipelago, which is like the Philippines, Malaysia, New Guinea, Indonesia, this whole big area. But if you're just talking about country, it is Indonesia. But then second biggest, Norwegian archipelago is giant, apparently, having so many little teeny islands and stuff. So that's interesting. When is Bitcoin going to skyrocket? I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to go past 100K, but you know, it's like you look at the price forecast and it's just all over the place depending on who you ask. So I don't even know. But this is, okay, back to the Vietnam War. Oops. Are war crimes and the inhumane acts of the Viet Cong taught in Vietnamese schools? Because like, I don't think in America they tell you about the My Lai massacre and or My Lai massacre and the shit that American soldiers did that's horrible. And I just wonder here if they teach like the crazy shit that the Viet Cong did to people too, because the Viet Cong killed hella civilians as well. And so turns out, no, they don't. They, let's see what they said. Perplexity is so interesting and like balance and stuff, but murder, kidnapping, torture, intimidation, etc. Despite the extensive documentation of these acts by historians and international observers, Vietnamese school curricula does not include detailed accounts of the Viet Cong war crimes and inhumane acts, which honestly is not that surprising. Man, there's a whole other component to this, which is communism, right? And the way communism works and like what's the whole deal with that, which is a whole other thing I never thought that much about. So which I have another thing to say about that in a little bit, but what is a dilettante? Because it was in my book and it was looked down upon. It's apparently someone who just enjoys art or like a specific discipline, but doesn't take it that seriously and just kind of likes it and dabbles and fiddles in it. So that's what the dilettante is. Dilettante? Dilettante. I think it's dilettante. Okay, here's the thing about communism too. So it's so crazy, right? Because here I'm going for a run by the water and stuff, and it's like, dude, the hammer and sickle is out in full effect, bro. It's this hammer and sickle and Vietnamese flag and everything. And I'm like, this is crazy. And so for this blog, for my blog post or for this post, I've been doing art on my iPad. So I had this thing, I saw in my head the South Vietnamese flag, right? All tattered and roasted and burnt up and crazy. So I was like, oh, I'm going to try to draw that like in the clouds like I do for all my art. So I drew it really cool. And I was like, oh, this is sick. But then I was like, oh, let me ask Perplexity, like, is this fucked? Like, am I going to offend people with this? Like, I don't know the cultural, like how to, what the deal is, just to check. And it was like, well, they still fly the South Vietnamese flag in like Little Saigon in America. And it's like a lot of Vietnamese people still like it, that are not in Vietnam, but here it's not good, right? Obviously it's communism. It's like, don't freaking fly that. So I was like, okay, it's probably fine. And then I was like, what if I'm in Vietnam and I want to use this art for my thing? And it's like, don't do it. It's like illegal. Like you can go to jail. Like, don't do it. And I was like, oh shit. And apparently like there was a Vietnamese celebrity in the US and there was like a South Vietnamese flag behind her something, and like they launched this whole investigation, and like it was this whole big thing, and it's like this big deal. So I was like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't do that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pass on doing that. It probably would have been fine, but I don't know. I mean, you never know who like would have seen it and been like, so that's kind of smart that I looked it up because I was gonna put it on there. It's such a cool picture. I think maybe once I'm out of, because the thing is I go to Bali and then I go to Hanoi after, and then I don't know where I'll go, but if I plan on not being in Vietnam for a while, maybe I'll post it or use it for my blog or something, but it's a little sketchy. But that's the thing about communism, man. It's like you don't have that fear in America where it's like you can just kind of do and say what you want and you're not going to get in trouble. But here, it's like with the communism, it's like it's kind of like in Thailand where you can't talk shit on the king. It's like, right? It's just freedom, dude, is fire, dude. It's so fire. And, you know, it works. Communism works here. It's like, it's not the best. It's like not like Vietnam is absolutely thriving in the best place on earth or whatever, but it's functional, right? And so it's just not optimal. And I think too, when you look at the way it got here, like the way communism spread and the freaking, man, it's so crazy. It's just crazy the shit that happened, man. So I could see, I'm not like pro-communism, but I'm like, it's just interesting. I really want to understand the dynamics and what it really means and what it's really like and what are really the implications. It's just weird, you know, like I'm like, So it's interesting, but I don't like feeling scared. Like the idea that I'm like, I could publish art and be in trouble, or like, depending on what cloth I put on my balcony, I can get in trouble, right? Like that's just, man, I take this freedom for granted in America. It's like, you can just do whatever you want, but it's like I also think sometimes that might have its own, it's like too much freedom and prosperity and everyone loses their mind and goes psycho, and the US might shit its pants. And we're like, oh, that, you know, democracy, capitalism thing was fire for like 300 years. And then it completely shit the bed and crashed and burned. And maybe the communist countries aren't like doing amazing and thriving, but they're going to last way longer and be more stable for longer. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe, I don't know. Remains to be seen. Kind of doubt it, but you know, who knows? Not me. Anyways, okay, we're going back here. We did what I'm wondering about. Here's the trailer. If you want to go on my blog post, there's a link in the description if you want to sign up for my weekly emails if you're new here. And this is the trailer for the documentary. Very striking, I will say. What I'm reading, Turning Pro by Steven Pressfield. So I finished The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I don't think I'm going to do so I finished This Is Your Brain on Music. I finished The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. And I had a bunch of notes, but I don't feel like I want to do book reviews on them. They just weren't like, don't feel like I want to do it. So I'm like, I think I'll only do it if I feel like I want to do it in the future, you know, like I'm like, this is fire. I want to share this, you know, and I just don't feel that like imperative with those books. They were good, but But now I'm reading Turning Pro by Steven Pressfield, which if you know about Modern Wisdom, which is Chris Williamson's podcast, he said that it went to the next level when he read this and he imagined what it would be like to turn pro at podcasting. It's really interesting. Steven Pressfield's a gangster. His main book is The War of Art, which I have also read. It's very good, but this so far is good too. And then I think after this, I'm going to read the entire Bible cover to cover while I'm in Bali. Anyways, what I'm listening to. This is a banger. This is an old school Christian kind of gospel vibe. It's freaking fire, dude. I wish I could play music on here. If I play music on here, I'm pretty sure I get booted. So I can't play music on here. But man, today I was freaking dancing to this. Sometimes on Sundays, I just put on like worship music and vibe. Okay, photo dump. Blurry selfie. And the caption, I put burly selfie because I'm dyslexic, and I just left it because I thought that was funny. It's like Jurley. Anyways, this is the place where I run. This is their sign. Been going for a run out there. It's nice. Oh, I forget to talk about this. Okay, so today I go, and usually when I go for this run, there's like no one there, but it's like 7 or 8 maybe. But the thing is, today, Sunday, I go for a run at like 5:30, and I get out there thinking it's going to be just me chilling in the morning vibe. Bro, the promenade or the boardwalk or whatever it is, popping, bro. I don't know if it's because with the I don't know if it's because of the reunification day, if the holidays like extended out because the gyms have been closed like this entire week. But dude, dude, so you know it's like Asian people, they do their like Tai Chi shit and they're like stretching aerobics and they're doing their thing, right? And it's like there's people doing it solo, and then there's massive groups of grandmas running it up, bro, with the music. Bro, some of them had like hyper pop, like, and they're just like, these grandmas are just like freaking getting it. It's just, dude, this, and dude, they all have the same shirts on. They have like team shirts, and they're all out there just freaking getting it to hyper pop, bro. I wanted to film, but I felt like it was disrespectful. But there was gangs and gangs of them, and there was like just filling the whole time you're running. There's just grandmas. And then I think there was a race too, because I was noticing a bunch of people on the street with like the same tank tops and people walking and everything. And there's young women doing the dancing too, but it's kind of like Zumba. It's like a Zumba Tai Chi like thing. And it's just so funny to me, dude. And I thought it would be disrespectful to film them. I didn't want to film them. But man, and it's funny too, dude. The grandma's like, everyone rides a scooter here, and at first I didn't really notice it or think of it, but like, dude, you'll just see like an 80-year-old grandma just on the scooter, just running it on the bike, dude. And it's such a funny sight, you know, because like you imagine if you're in America, right? You're in like LA downtown, and you see an 80-year-old woman on a bike running it up downtown, dude, you'd be like, holy shit, right? But here it's just common. It's just they all running it. And so, yeah, I was really popping. I couldn't believe it, 5:30, and everyone's out in full effect ripping it with their speakers, and these grandmas just freaking doing freaking and just running it. It's just funny, dude. I love it. But the other thing is I'm obsessed with the traffic, right? The way that the traffic interacts and how sketchy and crazy it is. So, like, dude, I see this guy. The other day, I'm on my balcony. I see this guy walking down the middle of the street across the intersection, not on a crosswalk, straight down the middle of the road. Older guy, probably like 65 or something, smoking a cig, not giving a fuck, dude, just chilling. And he's like walking down, he's walking. And dude, bike going by him, zoop, like one step from T-boning him and behind him and shit. And he just isn't looking, he isn't caring, bro. And it's just zoop, 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 zoop. And he just walking down. And it's amazing. I don't know how people freaking do it. And it's like a hive, and it's like it's like a program, right? And like as new things get introduced, it just recalculates and just goes. But I've had multiple times where I'm gonna go across the crosswalk and there's some bikes coming, and I just try to just walk at a steady pace and let them do their thing, which everyone does, right? And it doesn't crash. But it's so uncomfortable. And a couple times I'm like walking across and someone's coming this way and gonna turn, and it just looks like they're going right for me. So I stop, and then they go, oh, and then I go, and they go, oh, and then it's like bucks it up, and they're like, what the hell? But I'm like, dude, you were coming right at me. But sometimes I just have the courage to just go, and they just either go right in front of me or right behind me, just so close, and don't give a fuck. And I can't fathom it. It just is amazing. It's amazing and crazy. It's so crazy. Okay, back to the photo dump. Sorry, get distracted. Had some pho, dude. I've been ordering pho. At first, I was like, dude, I haven't had any pho since I've been here for like 3 weeks. So I was like, I'm gonna start ordering a couple different places, and bro, this is the one I like. Egg rolls, spring roll, and this, dude, ew, so good, bro. $6, $4, $5 maybe. Very cheap. This is the I don't know if you can see on here, but hammer and sickle and Vietnamese flag all hung up on the thing. And then we're finally getting a supportive YouTube base, so I got this comment today. I get no comments, bro. I get really no viewers. A lot of times I get no comments, and then I finally get a comment. I'm like, yes, and then it's like, you're gay. And 4 people liked it, dude. 4 people don't even like my videos sometimes. It's so funny. I just think when I'm successful, I'm gonna look. I just want to tell this story on a podcast. Like, dude, back when I had no viewers and like no people, and then I would just get these fucking comments, bro. It's someone else commented today on one of my reels. They're like, "Who cares, bro?" or something like that. I was like, "No one right now, but we'll get there. Just keep going." It's funny. I was doing live streams on my music YouTube and doing beats and stuff, and there was a dude who showed up to a couple, and then I got on Discord with him and was talking to him. So, because he was in the chat, but then I get on Discord and we're video chatting on my live on Discord, which you can watch if you go on my other channel. But I talked to this dude for like probably a good hour on there, and he's really interesting dude, pretty weird, but he had a really wild conversation. It was interesting, but he was really nice, and he was really supportive. He's like, "Dude, your music's sick and you're sick, and like I'm gonna support you and show you to all my friends and and whatever." And so it was, I don't know, it was nice to have like a nice person like engaging. Like it was crazy being on the live. I do so many streams now and there's no one there and no chat or anything. And so to like have two people in there like chatting, I'm like, this is freaking dope. So I've been getting some people in the chat and like hanging out with people on my other live. And I really do like live streaming. I think especially if I was getting a bunch of viewers and like people in the chat and like engaging with people, it would be so fun, and I would do it way more, and it would be cool. So I'm hoping that I can keep growing this. But I think too why no one comes on this one is because I think it's like 5 a.m. in the US right now. And then I stream in the morning on my music one. So I think people are like awake, so they come on. But I mainly just do this live on here for these updates so that I don't have to like upload the video because it's so bad. Oh, spit everywhere. I'm so tired. Man, another thing I'll say is that the other night, like usually I don't eat after noon, right? So I eat a big ass breakfast and then I'll eat like a smash burger at noon, and then I don't eat the rest of the day fast. And it's fine. But the other night I just was so hungry for some reason, and I was like, I'm gonna order a giant cheese pizza. And so I did, and I knew it was gonna wreck my sleep, and I knew it was gonna be bad. And I ate it, and it was really good. But what was striking to me was that the amount of guilt and shame I felt for eating it. And I'm like, wow, I can't even just eat a pizza at 6 p.m. and not feel like I'm a piece of shit and I'm gonna go to hell. Like, it's so weird because I used to just eat before bed and eat at night, just dinner, bro. Like, eat dinner and like, didn't think about it, right? But now that I know it wrecks my sleep, and I know if my sleep gets wrecked, then it, degrades my performance throughout the day, and like how much work ethic I have and how much I can get done, and it like weighs heavy on me, right? Because I work so hard all the time, all day. I just work all day and rip it, trying to make this shit work. And so I feel like I can't spare any dead weight, or like I can't make any mistakes, or like do, it weighs so heavy to just eat a pizza at night, right? At 6. It's so crazy. And I'm like, man, maybe I try to just let it go and be like, it's okay, dude. You can have a pizza at night if you want. Like, it's fine. Like dinner, dude. People eat dinner. Like, it's okay. But I feel so bad. So it's interesting. Lots of things do that where I'm like, man, I feel like the guilt and shame of 1,000 sons for doing like a normal behavior, or like, like like take a nap, take a quick 20, and I'm just like, you piece of shit, what the fuck, I'm wasting your time. Like just stay awake, or like, whatever. Take one break and I'm like, you're done, go. So that's my life right now. I'm going to Bali on the 10th. So my next video, I'll be in Bali. I'm pretty excited. It's out in the jungle. It's pretty far out, and it's going to be very, I think, quiet and secluded, and a very different vibe, I think. So I'm looking forward to the change. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm getting very used to being completely by myself and isolated, so I'm not worried about that. I am worried about like feeling safe, because like when you're in a condo or you're in an apartment like this, it's like no one can come up here unless I guess they would have to break into the lobby, and then you need a key card to get in the elevator, but there's a fire escape, so someone could probably come here and bust into my shit. But it's it's like, doesn't feel like anyone could, right? Or is gonna. But having just a house that's just on the ground, right? And someone could just bust in the door and there's like no one else around and it's just you. It might feel weird. It might not like that because, yeah, it's like also if I hear some shit at night, right, like a bump or a creaking or something, it's like, well, I know people are around, right? People are under me, above me, and like they're super loud, and when they walk, it'll creak, or like I can hear shit all the time. So, or the elevator going. So, you hear noises of people and you hear shit, and it's not, you're like, oh, people are here, whatever. But when you're in a house by yourself, like secluded, and then you hear something, it's like, fuck is that, you know? Also, if something happened and I was like, help, or like, fuck, or like, you know, something crazy happened, like there's people around that could hear or like, no, but there it's just like, I'm just fucking, you know. So that's slightly troubling, but not tripping balls, but it's definitely something I've considered. The shackles off my hands so I can dance. Just wanna praise you. Just wanna praise you. That's the song that I put on here. This such a banger, dude. And the beat, so good. Just man, it's crazy how it just pops in my head, and I'm like, take time to vibe. See if I got anything else here. I don't know where I want to go next after Bali, but I kind of want to figure it out sooner than later so I can plan. I wonder, my mom sent me a place to look at. I forget what it was. I think it was in Malaysia that I'd never heard of that I might look at. It's like a new nomad destination. But yeah, that's it for this stream. I think I'm going to sign off. And also, my song Sunrise in the music video comes out on the 12th, so very soon. And I'm very excited, and I'm doing a bunch of ads for it. I also did a video of how I made it. So it's like an hour-long video of me breaking down all the scenes of how I made the music video. And I went and did all the clips and everything today, and I think I scheduled over 100 clips on my YouTube, like clips of the video and of the how I made it video. So I'm like scheduled out all the way till the end of May with like hellas reels on there. So that's it. But anyways, if you're new here, there's a link in the description. You can sign up for my weekly emails. This is Wonderneath Weekly. So I do a blog update of my life each week, and I do this video with it, and it's free. You just sign up and you get it in your inbox each week. My name is Danny Swade. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. 1, 2, 3, go.